live from the Quad Cities with Morgan Otier and Kyle Keel. This is Quad Cities Live.
Today on QCL, mouth-watering barbecue made locally. Durant, Iowa's own Pit Crew BBQ is here to show off their variety of homemade special sauces. And we'll meet Ashley Paulsen, a local mom and published author of multiple books. We'll learn more about how she got started as an author and the passion behind her writing. Plus, we're gearing up for Dino Days happening at the Putnam Museum later this month. How the museum is taking families on a prehistoric adventure with fossil days, plus dinosaur movies on the giant screen. You're watching Quad Cities Live. Thank you so much for joining us on this Monday, June 10th. I'm Kyle Keel. My co-host Morgan Otier has the afternoon off. It is Monday, which means we may have your new best friend sitting in our studio right now. Megan Keeler, one of our friends of the show. She is with It Takes a Village Animal Rescue and Resources from Muscatine. She is here and she has brought a very excited furry friend, a very cute friend with us as well. Tell us about Coco.
Yeah, so Coco's been with us for about almost 6 months. She is a 6-year-old Australian cattle dog, a red heeler. You might notice that Coco's nose looks a little different than most. She actually had damage to the tissue on her nose. It was from sun injury, from sunburn. And then when digging, she actually lost part of her nose. So we had her fully checked out by the vet, and they said we had biopsies done, and she's cleared. It's not gonna grow back or anything, but she's about as sweet as they come.
Yeah, she really is, and she's got a lot of energy in her. So you know, she might go to a family that maybe doesn't have any other pets, right? Yeah,
she does. She wants to be an only pet, but as far as humans go, she hasn't met one she doesn't like. So
she is not. She's been all up on us. She's a cuddler, it seems like, and she's such a good girl. So talk about the red heeler breed. I mean, they're a good type of dog to have.
They are, but you do have to make sure that they get to expend their energy. They are a herding dog, so they may herd their humans as well. When they're ready to go inside, you may have someone following behind you, nipping at your heels to get you in the door. But Coco's pretty chill. She actually is more of the couch variety.
Oh,
She's
good.
a big fan of watching out the window from a nice cuddly sofa.
But you get her around some cameras and some lights and some people, she does seem a little more excited, but she's starting to calm down now that she's getting used to it. So if someone has fallen in love with her, which how could you not, you're actually waiving her adoption fee.
We are.
Yeah.
We are. Because of the fact that she needs to be an only pet, we always find that that is a bigger barrier to getting an animal adopted. So when we can, we have funds set aside just for this so that we can waive her adoption. So no adoption fee for this girl.
So tell us more about It Takes a Village, because this is not your typical animal shelter that you might be thinking of.
Correct. So we are not your municipal shelter with a government contract that does animal control.
Sure.
We really focus our mission hugely on helping animals in the greatest need, which is animals in high kill shelters or even local hoarding situation and neglect situations. We've done quite a few of those, especially in Louisa County. So we kind of get to more directly focus our efforts on where we see the biggest need in animal welfare.
Sure, and you know, you've been at this for just a few years now, and you know, like any other organization, you know, you are needing funding, so you've got a fundraiser going on right now just for a couple more hours. Dads, listen up. Moms, if you're looking for a Father's Day idea, we've got a Cubs versus Cardinals game coming up here this weekend, and you're raffling off some tickets.
Yeah, some very good tickets. So on Sunday, Cubs face the Cardinals at Wrigley, and we've got some stellar seats, really good seats on our Facebook page and on our website. It actually shows the view from those seats, so you get an idea of how close you'll be. It's like less than 18 rows back from home plate.
Oh, that is
phenomenal.
Yeah, that is a good one. So how many tickets do you have available?
So we've got 2 tickets, and we are raffling them off. So everybody that donates $25 through this Give Butter link that's on that post is entered to win, entered into the raffle. So each 25 is a separate entry.
And all that money goes right back to the shelter.
Yep, every dollar.
Right back to It Takes a Village. And you know, we kind of want to talk about it real quick because we've reported within the last couple of months that unfortunately, you all are at risk at losing your facility because of funding. You've had a fundraiser here the last couple of months. While it's been great, you still need more money. I mean, talk about the importance of donations that come into It Takes a Village.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I mean, it's truly our lifeblood. Without a government contract and that sort of like municipal city funding coming in for animal control, we are entirely operating on the donations of our supporters, and that includes our full shelter environment. So after that distemper outbreak that decimated our funds, we have, I mean, it's not that we haven't done a great job of fundraising and that people have not been incredibly generous. We are just still shy of what we are going to need to sustain through those winter slower months where the adoptions aren't happening.
Yeah, and again, it's more than just giving these animals shelter. I mean, you have to keep up with their health. You also have classes that you put on as well, so you do a lot more at It Takes a Village. So definitely head to the website and donate if you can. Obviously, one of the things you do is also find these pets some new homes, and we have some great news because last time you were here in April, you had 2 little pups, Heath and Buzz. There they are right there, and or at least one of them.
Yep.
And good news is they both got adopted right after the show.
Yeah, so that
That's
picture
awesome.
this one's Heath, and then the previous one was Buzz, and that's with their new humans.
Yes.
Their own families.
Oh, look at them. They look so happy. Which one's this? This is Buzz?
That's Buzz.
That's Buzz. Oh, look. He's so happy with his new family. Oh, that's really great to hear. So, yeah, if you like Coco, I mean, if you don't have any other animals at home and you're looking to add a friend, she's the one. She is definitely a lover. If you want to adopt her with her fee waived, you can head to ittakesavillage.dog. You can click under the Adopt tab and find Coco. There's also an Adopt button right on her page, and you can also find other animals up for adoption too. And as we mentioned, Megan, it's very important that you donate if you can to keep your shelter up and running because you do a lot of great things for the Muscatine and surrounding communities for sure.
Thank you. We
You're
try.
welcome. Yeah, we look forward to hearing a success story for Coco as well.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Megan. Well, next on QCL, summer is for grilling, and sometimes it's nice to leave it to the professionals, right? We'll welcome Pit Crew BBQ after the break for a look at their variety of mouth-watering menu items and sauces.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
Summertime means the smell of grilling throughout the neighborhood, and if you're looking for the real deal barbecue without the hassle, Pit Crew BBQ out of Durant, Iowa is here now for you. Marcus Ostaffi is the owner, and he joins us now. Thanks for coming into Quad Cities Live today.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, so, okay, Pit Crew BBQ.
Yes.
That's a great name.
Okay.
And I think if, our viewers at home put 2 and 2 together, we can understand where that name kind of come from. You got a little bit of an interest in racing, right?
Yes, I did some dirt track racing for about 18 years.
Oh, wow.
I got out of that and then got into this. I tell everybody I have 2 passions, which is racing and food.
Yeah.
One costs me a little money, one makes me money.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Why not put the 2 passions together?
Yeah.
So that's awesome. So this all started out in, what was it, 2018?
At the end of 2018,
Okay.
I got rid of the race car.
Sure.
Bought the food trailer.
Yeah, the food trailer.
And
There
then
you go.
2019 was our first full year of everything. It went really good, and it's just gone from there.
I was going to say, I mean, this became a big success pretty quickly. I mean, look at some of these photos of the food. A loaded hot dog with all the fixings on top of it. Are you kidding me? That looks great. And of course, one of the big things that you pride yourself on is the fact that all of your food is homemade.
Yes.
Including the sauces. And I mean, you have a wide array of sauces. So let's get into some of these sauces.
Our probably top seller, as my daughter would say for sure, is Smoking the Bandit.
Okay.
It's got a good smoke flavor and a little bit of sweet.
Okay.
But that's probably our top seller. There's only one spicy one riding the cushion, which is the raspberry habanero. Our newest one to the lineup should be Dill Jr.
Dill Jr.
If you like,
Dill Jr. I see.
If you like pickles.
I see the play on words.
Yes, yes. I actually looked it up, and which I didn't know, and he's a big dill pickle person. So we're hoping maybe we can meet him. And
I mean, yeah,
say, hey.
we got to get this flying on social media so we can get back to him for sure. So we're going to try a little bit of these on the air today. So this is going to be the Smokey and the Bandit,
Smokey
right?
and the Bandit.
So this is the most popular. So this is more of that sweet and savory.
Wherever we go, that bottle gets emptied quite quickly.
Giving it the thumbs up, which is an authentic thumbs up. I wouldn't do it if I truly didn't like it. I mean, this is like your classic barbecue sauce that you would think of, and it's got a nice little taste to it. Nice little.
Our 604, which is probably down here somewhere. This one, that's our original. So when people want something, hey,
so it's a classic.
So it's pretty much this is where it started.
This is where it started.
604, then went to Smoky, and it just kept on climbing.
And you've got a couple more that aren't quite ready for the bottle yet, but you've got a couple that people can come to your brick and mortar store to taste test.
They have them to taste. Even when you order your food, everybody asks, do you have them sauced or anything? We're like, no, just our rub. Our rub is on any of the meat. Otherwise, you get to pick your own sauce and put it in little cups, whatever. You can taste it while you're there to see what you like.
Sure. And you mentioned that most of these, in fact, all of them except this one, don't really have a kick to them. So if you're not a fan of the spiciness, so this is the raspberry habanero barbecue. For me, I like a little bit of a kick.
It's not bad.
I'm going to try it. I do like raspberry, and I do like habanero flavored anything. So we're going to give this a try. Well, it's not going to come out.
Well, I probably should have shook it up.
Oh, that's okay. Okay, we'll shake it up. So tell us a little bit more about the menu. Some of the items that you sell, some of your popular items.
Well, we're known for, as we say, home of the loadeds. We have a lot of stuff. The hot dog's loaded. We can have a loaded pulled pork sandwich. You can have loaded nachos, loaded fries, loaded cheese balls, loaded fried pickles.
Loaded cheese balls. Oh.
Yeah, that's new. We added cheese balls and we added fried pickles lately.
Oh yeah,
and that's just going huge. So all it is, loaded means you take whatever you want. Like say this is cheese balls.
Yeah.
The pulled pork's on top. Then you put nacho cheese on it, bacon bits, and a little green chive, little green onion. So.
Oh, that sounds incredible. What's the response been like?
It's been good.
Yeah.
It's been really good. The shop is kind of slow here and there, but this is the time everybody's getting out. But we are getting out also with the food trailer. We're going to a lot of events here, there, parking it. We help out businesses to feed their employees. We'll pull up so they don't have to go too far. They come right out, get their lunch, go back in.
All right, so I'm going to try this this kick-in flavor here. What do we got? We got raspberry habanero.
Raspberry habanero, riding the cushion.
All right, riding the cushion.
Which, again, racing terms on some of these, so you'll know.
Okay, so you don't get the kick at first, but it definitely does.
Yeah, you taste it, and then the heat comes in after.
It just went up like 5 degrees in here. Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Beth is going to get me my water for me.
I was going to say, you might want water.
I might want water. I took a bit of a spoonful. Thank you, Beth. So while I take a drink
maybe I should have said not a big, maybe a dab.
Ooh, is my face red? Wow.
Yeah.
It is good though. So if you like a good kick, that's the one. That's the route to go for sure.
That's the thing I wanted. You know, we're looking for another one. A couple years ago, I went through tonsil cancer, and my taste buds have changed.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, so that was a weird thing. Once I come back, I was like, is everything gonna taste? I started tasting. I was even like to myself, like, ooh. But luckily, the recipes are all true and tried.
Oh, good, yeah.
So we had them written down. Everything's coming back, but my heat level was bad. I went to taste that. I was on fire. So now I can handle my own sauce. So
I'm gonna have to gulp this thing down in the break. Well, I'm happy that you've recovered.
Yes, no, I'm good. I'm good.
That's great to hear.
It's just a story to add.
Yeah, you've got quite the story, it seems, going deeper and deeper into it. But talk about your brick and mortar store, because that kind of came after the food truck. So the menu items kind of differ from the food truck, though.
Yes, like there we can have a little bit more, like the ribs, the brisket.
Sure.
Burn ends. We have. I'm trying to think what else we got on there. Loaded potatoes. Even too. Yeah. So when we go to the trailer and take it, it's not enough room to have everything. So the menu is more extensive at the shop. Okay. So come there, you have bigger variety. When we go here and there, then yeah, we just get what. A lot of people don't like options either when you're out and about. They just want to read it, get it, and go.
Yeah, you don't want a big extensive menu, that's for sure. No. So where can people find out where your truck, or I guess your trailer, the food trailer, where's it heading next?
Next, actually, we're tomorrow, we're going to S&V Fence in Walcott.
Okay.
We're going to be there from 11 to 1. All right. But then we're off this week because we're going to head to NASCAR.
Ah, there you go. There's where that other passion comes in.
So the other passion, we're going to go up there, relax a little bit, and then it's go time. Usually, if people need to follow us, go to Facebook.
Sure.
We'll know exactly where we're going to set up. And then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, lunch is at the shop 11 to 1:30.
Okay.
Wednesday and Thursday at night, 5 to 7.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
So we're just busy, but it's better off follow us. And you'll see where we're going to pull up and serve.
And you know, we got to mention your wife as well. She's with
Ashley.
you on this as well.
Yes, Ashley's the one that worked this to get in and just surprised me with it. And she says, you're going on. I'm like,
surprise, you're going on TV.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we appreciate you sharing your story and allowing us to try this. So if you'd like more information, you can visit their website, which you saw on the screen, or follow them on Facebook, where they're going to be telling you where their truck is each and every day.
Yep. And we're getting these into stores, so we do have them around here being put in stores.
All right, awesome. Appreciate your time today.
Thank you, Kyle.
This was a pleasure.
Awesome.
All right, well, coming up next on Quad Cities Live, a local author who has self-published 8 books. We'll meet Ashley Paulsen and learn more about what drives her creativity and her passion for writing.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
Well, do you ever have something on your mind that you just have to write down? That's exactly how our next guest got her start as a published author. About 10 years and 8 books later, Ashley Paulsen is here on Quad Cities Live to talk about her most recent work. Ashley, thanks so much for coming on today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so tell us how you got started. I mean, it's not every day that you just think like, hey, I want to write a book, but this has kind of become your passion, hasn't it?
Yeah, I said to my husband one day, I've got this story and I can't stop thinking about it. Should I write it down? And he's like, yeah. So I did. I thought I'll just write it down and then it'll be good. And then another chapter and then another chapter. And I thought, I like this. And then I got in contact with someone who writes books. He showed me how to do it and it just kind of skyrocketed from there.
Yeah, the words just kept flowing and flowing. So you published your first book about 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And so now you've got a total of 8. So how does it feel to be a published author? Did you ever think that that was going to be a title that you were going to hold?
No, I did take creative learning or creative writing in high school and I did really like it. But there's just something about creating these characters and writing their story that I just love to do.
So let's talk briefly about the first book that you wrote. So kind of give us a brief storyline and why did you decide to write a book on that particular topic?
I think I was really into the Divergent and Hunger Games books.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And so that kind of inspired that one. And I wrote them and I love the story, I love the characters, but then I learned that that wasn't really my writing style. And, and I found it and I really like it.
So what would you describe as your writing style? What kind of gets you going and gets the words flowing?
I would say like romantic comedies.
Romantic comedies,
I'm not as good, but I like to compare it to like Christina Lauren or Ashley Paulsen. They write really good romantic comedy books.
And where do you find your inspiration from to these books? Because obviously all of these books are fiction, am I correct? So where do you find the inspiration? Because for me, I'm more of a nonfiction reader, and I guess working in TV news, I'm more of a nonfiction writer as well. So where do you find the ideas to come up with these stories?
They honestly just come to me.
Really?
I'm like, well, this is an interesting idea. I'm going to drop that down, and then I write it down and go from there. So see what comes with it.
Yeah, so the latest book that has come out is this one right here. This is called, it's called Bad at Dying. So it's got an interesting book title to it. It definitely caught my interest. So what is this book about?
So it is about a girl named Anna, and she is dealing with a lot of social anxiety and depression, and she decides that she's done and she's going to end her life.
Okay.
And this person ends up interrupting her over and over again, trying to get into the building, and they spark a relationship and a friendship, and it blossoms, and he kind of teaches her how to grow, and she teaches him how to grow, and I don't know, it's a really beautiful story.
Yeah, okay, so how long did this one take you to write?
My books generally take about 8 months to a year, generally, you know, give or take how much time I have to write.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because we want to make this very clear. This is truly your passion.
Yes.
So you have a day job, you know, a 9 to 5, like many of us do. So you do this on your off time, which you know, you're a mother as well.
Yeah.
So.
I'd love to do it, so it's not hard for me to find time to jot those down. So.
Yeah, if you love what you do, then yeah, you'll find a way to make it happen. So yeah, talk a little bit about your family. I had 2 young ones at home and your husband, so talk about them.
Yeah, so my husband and I got married in 2011, and we live in Welton right now.
Okay.
And we have 2 kids, Braylon, who's just turned 9, and Addie, who just recently turned 5, so
that's awesome. And you know, you're born and raised in the Quad Cities.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, you were Davenport to Durant and now to Welton. So it's awesome to have a local author here. So where can we find your books?
Yeah, you can find them on Amazon. All of them are there. If you're in the DeWitt area, there are a couple at the DeWitt Library that you can check out there. So.
Oh, that's awesome. So yeah, if you're in the DeWitt area, be sure to check them out from the library. And you know, your dad helps you A lot. You know, sometimes you get writer's block, but you can turn to him, and he kind of helps you through that, doesn't he?
Yeah, he used to drive truck, and so I'd call him up and I'd say, you know, hey, I'm having troubles with this. How do I make this work? And he would sit there and listen to all of them. So he was more than happy to listen to them, and he'd say, hey, what if this person had this? I'm like, oh, good idea, Dad, and I'd write that down. So. Oh,
that's great. So you've got 8 books in the bag right now. I know you've got more in the works. So what is your hope to come in the future with these books?
Well, my #1 goal is really just to write my story and be done with it. And I have these on my bookshelf, and one day, you know, maybe my kids will read them and their kids, and that's really the main goal. But I've kind of set a goal for myself this year to really broaden the horizon and see if I can get more readers to enjoy it.
And what's the response been from people who have read your book? Because I'm guessing that a lot of your local friends and family, they've gotten a hold of these books. What's the response been like?
Honestly, a lot of them say about the same thing, which is I could not put it down. They just get drawn in and they can't stop until they finish it, which is great. That's awesome to hear.
That's got to make you feel really good that you're doing your job as an author to captivate your audience. And before we go, I asked her briefly before we went on the air, who makes these covers? You do it all.
I do,
You do it all. That's pretty cool. Where do you get the ideas for your covers at?
Honestly, I just pick something that was included in the book and try to include it the best I can in the cover. So. Well,
I think you've done a very nice job with that. So again, you've got 8 books. I think in the next year you'll get another one going, and you don't have any plans to stop, do you?
No, I don't. I'll just keep going.
Well, that's awesome. So if you'd like to learn more about Ashley, you can follow along on her writing journey by heading to her Facebook page at Ashley Paulsen Author. You can follow there for all the updates. And, you know, we thank you for spending some time with us, and good luck on your next published book.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. All right, there's much more to come in our next half hour of Quad Cities Live, including a prehistoric journey for the entire family at the Putnam's upcoming Dino Days. We'll have a preview coming up. And later, Living Lands and Waters is hosting its annual Barge Party, and we're all invited. We'll learn more about the organization and what's planned for this year's bash.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
We'll take a trip back to the age of dinosaurs later this month as the Putnam Museum and Science Center hosts its popular Dino Days weekend. Here to tell us all about it is our friend Scott Peak, and he has brought a dino friend with him as well. What do we got here today, Scott?
Today we have Sarah along
Sarah.
with us, yes.
Nice to meet you. What is she, Triceratops?
She's a Triceratops baby, yeah.
Oh, she's trying to get my finger. She might be more interested in that plant there. So Dino Days coming up a little bit later this month. A little delayed this year. If you're thinking, why hasn't it been here? It's a little delayed. We'll talk about that in a minute. But all things kick off June 28th with a 3D showing of a pretty good movie.
Yeah, Jurassic Park.
Yeah. In 3D.
In 3D, yeah. I think but a decade ago, they re-released it in 3D. And so we're going to have it one night only. To kick off Dino Days.
June 28th. No better way to kick it off, right?
That's right.
Yeah, all right. So, you know, one of the things about Dino Days is it's a big learning experience as well. And people are going to get the opportunity to actually meet an actual paleontologist.
That's right. We have a paleontologist on staff at the Putnam. And she does a presentation where you can kind of touch some real things and some kind of working things. And she teaches you all about whatnot. And she's been out on digs, and so a lot of experience to share.
Well, there you go. A lot of times when you're in the museum, you can't necessarily touch the items that you're looking at, but now is a chance to get your hands on, I'm sure, some fossils and other dinosaur things as well. So, you know, one popular thing for the kids is the Dino Dig. Talk about the Dino Dig.
That's right. So we'll have our normal outdoor Dino Day, which is part of our normal museum experience. But then there'll be some special ones inside the Dino Park as well. Your Dino Days ticket gets you full admission to the museum and the Dino Dig and the Dino Park and the movie. So it's a really great deal.
So it's learning and it's fun. So what can be better, especially during the summer months?
Right, exactly.
So in addition to that, there's going to be other things for the kids to do. I know you have a photo booth and some face painting, right? Dinosaur face painting?
Yes, absolutely.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Of course. So looking forward to that as well. So like we said kind of at the beginning here, it's a little bit later this year because we've been kind of waiting for something very unique to us, not only here in the Quad Cities, but across the world, because you are actually showing a world premiere of the movie T-Rex.
T-Rex, exactly.
On the giant screen.
3D T-Rex on the giant screen. The movie was supposed to be released early or late May
Okay.
But it got pushed back in production, so we pushed back Dino Days to accommodate.
Sure.
Again, lots of times we show movies, after they've been out for a while,
Yeah.
but the first premiere of this is going to be in Denver, I believe, on the 21st.
Okay.
So just a few days after that.
A few days after that. So give us a little bit of a preview of it. Obviously, we know it's about a T-Rex, but I mean, this has some recent history in it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've heard the story about the 3 boys
just read it
in
last
North
week.
Dakota who found T-Rex.
Yeah.
This story is part of this movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible.
So that's why the premiere is in Denver, because that was the museum that was involved.
Oh, sure.
In
they had
authenticating.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So that'll definitely be a good movie to see here coming up a little bit later this month on the giant screen. And after Dino Days, we're talking, I guess not after, but we also have all sorts of other things going on at the museum as well.
Always.
So we want to talk about the new trains exhibit that opens a little bit later this month as well.
Yeah, actually, the trains exhibit opens before Dino Days, but we got to talk about Dino Days.
Yeah, of course.
Otherwise, Sarah would get upset about that.
Yeah, we don't want to upset Sarah. That's for sure.
So yeah, we have a new exhibit opening on June 22nd called All Aboard, Our Quad City Locomotive Legacy.
Sure, okay.
And so it talks about Quad City train stories, but just kind of train history in general. So there's going to be stories about people who've worked on the railroad, people who kind of big names who got it here, and why it's so important to the Quad Cities, and why the Quad Cities is an important part of train's history as well.
And that opens next Saturday, correct?
The 22nd.
All right, so yeah, we have a huge train history, a deep, rich history here in the Quad Cities, and I know we have a lot of train buffs out there, so this will be one that you won't want to miss. And how long is that exhibit going to be there?
It's until October.
It's until October. All right, so another thing we wanted to touch on, always showing many different movies of many different topics at the giant screen. Yu-Gi-Oh! I have not thought about Yu-Gi-Oh! In, I don't know, 15, 20 years maybe, but this is very popular with a lot of young people.
Sure.
But you'll be showing this movie on the giant screen as well, and we actually have a chance to meet one of the voice actors, right?
Yeah, so this is kind of in partnership with Planet Funk Con, which will be down at the River Center the same weekend as Dino Days.
Yeah.
So you could go down there, meet some of the voice actors, and then come to the Putnam and see the movie on the giant screen.
That's awesome.
So Dino Days during the day, and then Yu-Gi-Oh! At night.
There you go.
So go to Planet Funk Con on Saturday, go to Dino Days on Sunday, vice versa, either or.
You're getting your weekend itinerary right here.
Exactly.
So you've already got it all planned out for us. So most importantly, I mean, can we meet Sarah?
Oh, of course. Yes, you can meet Sarah. Sarah will be there.
Okay.
But Sarah's much bigger dinosaur friend, Dilly, who's a Dilophosaurus.
Oh, okay.
Life-size dinosaur you'll be able to meet as well.
Okay.
Now that one you got to be careful though, because the tail is quite a killer.
Oh.
Probably 10 feet from nose to tail, and that thing whips around. Dilly requires a handler so that small children don't get taken out by the tail.
so be careful around Dilly. So Sarah, I think we're good. She's a little more tame.
She's very calm.
She's, don't get your finger too close, because she might,
Oh, but her teeth are soft. It's okay.
Yeah,
she's just a baby.
She got me earlier in the segment. So always a lot going on at the Putnam. Scott, we always appreciate when you come on. It's always a fun time. If you would like to take a look at the calendar of events at the Putnam Museum and Science Center, or you purchase tickets to Dino Days or the trains exhibit, you can visit putnam.org. A lot going on there, and we look forward to Dino Days. I know a couple of kids at my house who are pretty excited about it. So, all right, thanks, Scott. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Up next on Quad Cities Live, get an up-close look at the new Mississippi River Institute when you attend the Living Lands and Waters Barge Party. Why this year's event promises to be bigger, better, and more impactful than ever. Coming up next.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
The new Living Lands and Waters Mississippi River Institute is complete, and now you have the chance to see it up close a little bit later this week. Callie Chaser is here from Living Lands and Waters. Callie, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
So obviously, if you've grew up in the Quad Cities, spent any amount of time, we all know Living Lands and Waters. We all know Chad Pogracki. But for those of us not familiar, tell us more about what you do. You do a lot for the community and really the nation as a whole.
Yeah, so Chad started the organization in 1998 as a kid living on the Mississippi. He was a clams diver, and he noticed all the trash all up and down the river underneath because he was diving as well. And since then, it's grown from one guy in one boat to now this whole operation of a fleet of barges. We have our new classroom barge that we'll talk a little bit about as well. But it's grown into one guy, one boat, into this amazing thing. And it's more than just river cleanups. We do our Million Tree program, which we just gave out our 2 millionth tree this year and planted that, which was really exciting. And then we do invasive species removal and prairie restoration to the areas around here, and the partners with that. So that's really fun.
Obviously, a very important nonprofit that's here in the Quad Cities, and again, it goes beyond just the Quad Cities and the Mississippi River.
Yeah, we've been on 25 different rivers in 21 states, worked with over 130,000 volunteers all along the Mississippi, the Ohio River, the Missouri River, the Illinois, basically the Mississippi and its tributaries, because it covers so much ground. Yeah,
so obviously you all are a nonprofit, so you're always looking for ways to raise money so you can provide the work that you do along these rivers and tributaries and the environment itself. So the Barge Party, it's
Barge Party.
Your biggest fundraiser of the year, right? I mean,
you know,
your Barge Party's coming up a little bit later this week, and then boom, you're on to the next year, right?
Exactly.
So talk about the Barge Party. I mean, this is when it was down at Schwiebert Park in Rock Island. I've been to a couple of these covering them, and it truly is a party.
It is. It is. It's a fun time. We have a shrimp boil, live music. We have for those about to yacht that came here last year, and so they'll be there as well. But it's at Beacon Harbor, the new headquarters. We have the new Mississippi River Institute classroom right down there, so we'll be giving barge tours on it. We'll have a silent auction with local artists that have donated their pieces to then be distributed out there, and people can do a silent auction on that and decide which piece that fits them and that they want to get. We've gotten some really cool art pieces over the years, so that's really something to look out for. And then wine polls, really good food, drinks, cash bar, all that fun stuff.
I mean, you mentioned the art. I mean, we feature artists weekly here on Quad Cities Live, and we know that we've got a very talented pool of artists here in the Quad Cities, so you definitely want to check these out. And you can't just show up. I mean, this is a fundraiser, so you have to purchase your tickets in advance, right?
Tickets are on sale right now. We've actually sold over 650 so far, which is really exciting.
Oh, awesome.
We had a goal of 1,000, so hopefully these next 4 days you can buy tickets at the door when we get there. And so what we'll have is shuttles going back and forth from the John Deere Harvester Factory to where Beacon Harbor is, and those shuttles will be going every 15 minutes. And it starts from 5 to 9. Food's done around 7, I believe. And so come, and the art auction stops, I think, around 8 is when that will kind of close and go from there. But music will be going the whole time. Really good people. Get to see all the crew. Chad will be there. It'll be awesome. It'll be a good time.
Chad is definitely life of the party, right?
He is.
And I mean, as you saw in that opening shot that we had in the video, I mean, literally hundreds of people. So it truly is a good time and for a great cause as well. So, you know, we're talking about how this is going to be bigger and better and more impactful than ever because it's all about the Mississippi River Institute. We've featured the story several times on TV6 on our newscast. And this is a very unique classroom and a unique learning opportunity for people here in the Quad Cities and eventually beyond. Yeah,
so we've had some classes on there already in the spring that started. And Chad's always said the 2300 corridor for wildlife is the Mississippi. But now we're kind of framing this as there's 2300 miles of opportunity and careers that people just don't know about, and bringing them to the river. And as our board president says, get them over the levee and let them know of the opportunities. So we have different speakers come on that are framed towards different welding classes, environmental classes, things that are in engineer, trades, those type of things that you just don't know are available, and you can do it right out of high school. And there's plenty of opportunities, and you can be a deckhand right out of high school and work your way up to being in the wheelhouse as a captain in a few years and things. So just letting students know and kids in the areas where they don't know, that haven't gotten to the water, and get them out there and let them know it's available.
I mean, what a unique opportunity. A classroom on the river, that's amazing. How many students can that hold? I mean, that's a pretty big space.
Yeah, that can hold about 30, 40.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, awesome. So what's the response been like from students in the community?
It's been fun. It's been fun. We actually, we had a welding group, I believe I'm going to blank on the school because I'm not from here. Might have been West.
Okay.
But they created some of the railings that are actually on the barge.
Oh, really?
And so their welding class made some really cool designed railings that we've been putting around the barge, and so those will be on there. The art pieces and different connections of the Quad Cities will definitely be all over this. It's been restored. It used to be a dredging barge.
Yeah.
And then we actually moved the whole building off one barge that was sinking onto a barge that doesn't sink.
That's important.
And so that's been really fun and really cool, the history of it, the connection that they can make, and then maybe a class will have something else put on there that will be on that forever, which is
That's
cool.
incredible. And so because it's a barge, it moves, obviously. So this is going to be on the move a little bit later this year.
It is, yeah. So around July, August time, it'll make its way to St. Louis and Alton area and kind of be there for the first initial big hard launch of it there. And then it'll move to Minnesota and just kind of travel up and down the Mississippi and go to these different classes and bring the students in that local area to see what the opportunities are and get them on the water.
Broaden some horizons, that's for sure. Well, the Barge Party is happening this Thursday, June 13th from 5 to 9 p.m. at Beacon Harbor in East Moline. You can purchase your ticket online at livinglandsandwaters.org. There you will find all the events going on at Living Lands and Waters. Callie, thank you so much for spending some time with us, and that barge is just incredible, what you all are doing there along the Mississippi River.
So come check it out.
Go check it out this Thursday. All right, thank you, and thank you so much for watching Quad Cities Live. Your local news at 4 with Sharon is coming up next. Have a great day.